talk to the management of Route Mobile. Remember, just earlier this last week, the company announced a strategic collaboration with Infosys to unlock new business opportunities. Not just that, even the promoters did an offer for sale of about 6%, which brought down their stake to 75%, SEBI's mandatory requirement. So to talk about all that and how business is shaping up, we have Gautam Badalia. He's the Group Chief Strategy Officer, and he's with us in the studio now.
Thanks.
Gautam, great to have you on the show. So first, let's talk about that offer for sale.
Sure.
Right? So promoter stake is now down to 75%?
That's correct. It's below 75 now.
Okay. So it was a 6% offer for sale.
Yes.
And it was open to retail shareholders, etc. But was there any institutional investor who bought any stake?
Yeah, so good thing is, I think when we started marketing it and the kind of growth that we demonstrated and the guidance that we have given everything for the full year and the next 3 years, we were able to kind of get a lot of interest from large long-only funds. I mean, some of the largest MFs in the country. So they participated in it and they took the lion's share. So it's already there in the public. So SBI Mutual Fund took a lion's share of the entire OFS stake.
5.3%, right?
Yeah, so they took over 5% stake in the OFS.
Okay. So, this is about the OFS, back to the SEBI's mandatory requirements now. Let's talk about your strategic collaboration with Infosys, where you have spoken about unlocking new business opportunities. Can you explain what is it all about? How big would this opportunity be for you? And what is the financial impact of this on your P&L?
Yeah, so I mean, Infosys is again kind of an enabler and a validation of the guidance that we have given. I mean, we were already kind of working on some of the group synergies as part of the Proximus vendors. So this Infosys tie-up per se will help us accelerate our sales cycle with all the deployments that Infosys has globally. Today, if you look at Route Mobile, I mean, Route Mobile plus Telesign, BICS, I mean, the entire Proximus group, we are the largest in terms of our geographical reach. And if we can leverage some of these strengths to work with partners like Infosys and few large CRM partners, we could really accelerate our growth. So essentially what this Infosys deal will entail for us is, it will help Infosys offer these solutions to their enterprises, and it will significantly reduce our sales lead cycle.
So it reduces your sales lead cycle. How does it impact the financials? Like, do you have already considered it in the guidance that you've given? Does it kickstart right away?
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, I think we demonstrated kind of a 14% growth last quarter, YOY basis. We have talked about a 18 to 22% growth for the year. So a lot of these growths, I mean, we are talking about a growth rate which is greater than the industry growth rate per se. So some of these were already part of the guidances that we had kind of envisaged for the year.
So 18 to 22% revenue guidance for this year still stands?
Yes, that's correct.
And how has Q2 shaped up vis-a-vis Q1?
So Q2 has historically been a little muted to Q1. I mean, it's been kind of flattish to Q1, and we're seeing decent amount of growth even happening in Q2. And I think with the festive season coming, I mean, in Q3, we should see a significant amount of acceleration and throughput increasing multifold times on the platform.
So Q2 revenue growth should be about 5-10% better than Q1? I mean,
yeah, I would not want to kind of commit.
But better than Q1.
Yeah.
And what about exports? Because in the past, you were facing some challenges on the export front.
So as I said, I think ILDO revenues, I think, were impacted last year during H2. Essentially, I mean, if you remember, I mean, there were a lot of artificial bot traffic, I mean, hitting a lot of platforms. But good thing now is, I think that's already in the base. Most enterprises have taken corrective action to kind of eliminate some of those artificial bot traffics. So now we are seeing good revenue traction growth coming back on ILD as well.
Okay, and what has been the volume growth in communication, say, via SMS versus WhatsApp versus enterprise communications? How does that differ for you? And is it expected to improve now that we have Q3 coming up with so many festivals, sales coming up?
So SMS, I mean, because of the scale at which it operates, it's growing at a lesser growth rate than some of the newer channels. I mean, where the base is kind of pretty low, but some of the newer channels, I mean, we are witnessing almost 60-70% kind of growth rate.
And SMS would be?
SMS would be, I mean, between 10 to 15% kind of a growth rate that we are looking at.
And that is expected to improve coming in Q3, the growth rates across segments?
That's correct. So, I mean, we maintain, I think we should be able to kind of demonstrate, I mean, be in that 18-22% kind of a growth overall, yeah.
So your new products, which is basically communication via WhatsApp, RCS, etc., email, is about 7% of your overall revenues.
Yeah, at present, yes.
Okay. Now, considering it's growing much faster, what do you think this number could be, say, by the end of FY25 or FY26 end?
Yeah, so 3 year, I think it should be about 15% of our revenue pie. And within that, I mean, if you look at RCS today, I mean, till about the Apple event, I mean, RCS was only powered over Android. But now with iOS kind of opening up the interoperability for RCS, it could again be a game changer for the communications industry.
And how does the pricing differ between the export business and the Indian business? Are you able to take on more price changes regularly? When was the last one that you took?
So in terms of, I think the price changes are pretty, I mean, so there are more, from a domestic standpoint, I mean, it's more inflationary kind of an increase. On the international ILD price changes, some of them were kind of very, very rampant, I mean, in the last 4 or 5 years, but now things have steadied a bit. And especially, I mean, considering the headwind that we have witnessed during H2, we don't envisage any significant price increase coming, I mean, for the ILD business per se.
And for the domestic as well?
Domestic also, I mean, it's pretty steady, it's steady right now.
Okay.
Okay. I remember a couple of quarters back, you know, the competitive intensity in your industry became a hot topic of discussion when one of the, you know, I think telecom companies bid very aggressively, etc., for a large, you know, PSU bank. So can you tell us how is competitive intensity? Because realizations have been a bit muted.
Right. I mean, so I actually have a little different perspective to this whole thing. I mean, so if you look at any global company, right, and global technology company, they are not constrained by geographies. They would have subscribers across the globe. You talk about a Meta, you talk about a Google. And with this partnership with Proximus today, I mean, we have also embarked on that path where we have pretty much the globe as our TAM, our target addressable market. So to that extent, I mean, that one particular operator, I mean, while they, created a little bit of a price war, but I think things have stabilized a lot. And
so, so now when you get new, you know, when you go out and bid and get new clients, is the pricing same as it was 6 months back, or is it progressively?
So competitive intensity is there, but having said that, today if you look at it, it's only a handful of large global CPaaS players, I mean, who are competing for that pie. So like if you look, were to kind of anecdotally compare this with the payments industry, you have large payment aggregators. Likewise, I mean, we believe in CPaaS also in 3-5 years time frame, you will only have large CPaaS players kind of catering to the global wallet.
Okay. You know, last question, and we don't have much time, Gautam. So you'd guided for synergies of around $100 million. This is between Proximus, Telesign and Route Mobile. How much is realized so far, and when do you achieve the full synergy?
Yeah, so I think as we speak, I think we've been working on the synergies and the realization of those synergies. And on a quarterly basis, I think some of these numbers will kind of come through. A good thing is I think we've already created the wireframe and kind of now working on those trajectories right now.
Any ballpark number, 40%, 50% of that $100 million that you've achieved already?
Honestly, it is too early to kind of comment on that. But I think we are treading the right path, and hopefully I think we should be able to come and in 3 years' time talk about that $100 million of synergies being realized.
Gautam, great chatting with you. I think the market also likes what you've been saying because Route Mobile stock has reacted positively. So some key takeaways are that there is no more supply overhang. The promoter stake is now down to 75%. So that is out of the way. Secondly, SBI Mutual Fund has picked up a lot more than 5% in the offer for sale. Q2 has shaped up better than Q1 so far, though they're not committing to any number and how much better. But things are improving. And fourthly, the company is committed to maintaining that FY25 revenue guidance of 18 to 22%. Well, with that, from the entire team, it's a thank you for watching Trading Hour. Stay tuned. Halftime Report is up next.